Okay, so let's talk about Beepbox. I'm just going to navigate to the assignment, which is 4.4. Okay, so in the assignment, there's a couple videos that I've left for you in case you're kind of stuck trying to figure out a melody and you need a little bit of help. Two different kind of takes on trying to come up with a song. And we're going to talk right now about Beepbox. So I'm going to just go ahead and click the link. And it brings me to this view. When you come in here, these notes aren't going to be turned on. And you can turn them on under Preferences, Show Piano Keys if you want. I didn't end up using them at all, so but if you're a musician, that might be helpful. So in its simplest form, all you have to do is start clicking, and then you can play. Okay, and then you can play around with what key you're in. I didn't touch that at all. You can play around with the instrument that you're using. I don't know. So they have lots of different kind of sounds that you can make. And each row here can be a different instrument. I usually keep that bottom row as a drum and the top row as kind of like the melody, and then in between you can kind of do whatever. Notice that there are numbers on these, and all of these are ones. So if I was to let this continue to play, it's just repeating the same bar. Each one of these little sections is a bar. It's going to repeat the same thing over and over, and then it's going to stop. So if I click on 0, I don't have anything in the 0. Oh, well, actually, it's going to stop because this purple bar isn't allowing us to play over here. But we can just drag this right here and then play. And then when we get to this part right here, it's going to stop playing anything because on 0, there's no notes. And there we go. There's my bar that I'm on right now. And I'm on the next bar. If I come over here, I'm on that bar. Okay. So you can add, let me pause this. You can add to your melody by going into another bar and changing the number. I haven't put anything in number 2 yet, but I can copy and paste my melody. So I can just do Control-C and then click on the other bar and Control-V. And it copied and pasted those notes. And then you can kind of riff off of that melody and add, I don't know, I'm just playing around. And when I did this myself, I had to just keep trying things and play it and see if it sounded right. If you're a musician, maybe you'll be like, oh, I can do a chord or whatever. That is not me. So you can kind of hear a little bit of a difference there. You can keep doing that. Just keep copying and pasting. And oh, I did this so many times when I was making my song. Even though I know if I change one, it changes all the ones to be that new thing. I would be like, oh, here's the next part. I'm just going to change this and I'll add something or whatever. And then I go back to 1 and I'm like, I messed up my number 1. If you want to get rid of notes, you can just click them again and they go away. Okay, so on here, I would want to change this to like a number 3 or 4, whatever. It goes up to 8. And then potentially copy and paste my notes or continue the melody and make it different, whatever you want to do. Same idea goes for each one of these lines. So if I'm trying to do some drums or whatever, I can let's do maybe drum synth. Okay, so this literally was what I did when I made my sound. I just clicked some things and then I would play it and I'd be like, that sounds terrible. Oh, that's actually pretty good. So anyway, so then maybe I would change this into a 0, nothing. Have my melody start playing first and then add in the drums. Or vice versa, maybe I would have this start my drums and then this melody not play until here, and then make this the song continue from there. So you can kind of think about how you want your song to go. And then you can add in, oh, what happened here? Yeah, that's right. So let's see how that sounds. Okay, so anyway, you can continue to build your song, build your song. I would suggest doing pretty close to this full amount or more if you want. You can add more bars by under edit. You can change song length, and if your song ends up not being this long, you can change it to be shorter. And you can use this purple bar to actually test out little parts of your song, so you don't have to keep listening to the whole song at once, or you can go ahead and make it play as long as you want. So play around with the instruments, keep adding and changing things as you go. I'll show you an example that I made in probably about half an hour last night. Let me go ahead and, so this was my full melody here without anything else. That's what I figured out first. Okay, so I kind of tried to make the last part of the melody feel like an end, and then it can repeat. And you might have noticed on number 2 how I had more than one note here. You can totally do that, make chords, or just, you know, fun sounds with multiple notes. In number 3, there is a kind of a slide note. So when you play that part, okay, so you've heard that slide part. So if I just wanted to show you that real quick, I could go add a note and then just grab an end and start dragging it around, and you can make all kinds of funky shapes with it. And you can even like bend both ends. I think I used to be able to. I don't know how to make it do that anymore. I kind of feel like every time I try to do something with it, oh, see, there it goes. I don't know how I did that. So just kind of try to drag and grab it in different places and drag it around, I guess. I think that's it. So when you want to save this, Beepbox actually stores your song in the URL. So as you're making notes and stuff, it's storing it in the URL. So make sure that you save that URL either by clicking the star or copying and pasting it somewhere. And anytime you change your song, you would need to update that. In the next video, it talks about how to export in order to turn in. So have fun with it, make something awesome.